It's work.
It's work. You're in Flower Drum Song now,
Yeah.
of course, and you did Miss Saigon, of course, before that, several times.
Yep, came back 3 times. Did it 3 times on Broadway.
Well, you
Fun,
can keep,
fun show.
You can keep it. Maybe you can do it, 10 or 12 years
Fun
from now.
show, and I think it became more fun the older I got because the
really?
stronger my chords became. I mean, the first time I was doing it, I was like, I went home every night, soaked my feet in hot water and salt, and was just completely paranoid about my voice. And the producer would ask me to come back, and I'm like, I can't do it. I have ghosts with that show. Don't let me come back. Don't make me. And then there was a concert that they were having in London, and he asked me, could you please sing a couple of Kim songs for it? And I said, okay, I'll do this for you. If I like it, if I have fun doing it, then I will consider coming back to the show. And a few months later, I went back, and I had a blast. And I mean, it wasn't vocally as terrifying as it used to be. It was just, I was just having fun. I could go out at night afterwards and still have a voice the next day. And the cast was incredible, and everybody was just so embracing and welcoming. And I'm like, I'm having a blast. And I just had the best time.
John, when you got the script for Urinetown, here you are, a man who's played in Hamlet and All My Sons. Did you just say, this is for me, or you threw it in the waste of the basket?
This is my personality. Actually, my manager, Jeff Berger, sent it to me, and he didn't tell me the title. And he didn't tell me it was about, I was in California. And he said, just read it. And I read this thing, and I got very upset by it, really. Not just angry, because some of the lyrics, I didn't know what I was reading. And of course, I wasn't put off by the title so much, but the lyrics seemed like Moon, June, Spoon, and then it would throw in something about, instead of, I love you from the depth of my heart, I love you from the depth of my muscular tissues, or something like that. What in the world is this all about? And then I was talking out loud to myself, and my wife heard me talk. I said, this is the worst. I said, this is got the worst taste of any script I've ever. Listen to this. I mean, there's a thing, a Patty Hearst thing they take off on here. It's got the worst lyrics I've ever heard. It's Snuff the Girl. Can you believe that kind of song? And then I said, and listen to this. I said, this is supposed to be my big number. It's got a little bunny in the meadow, the nibbling grass without a loud, and I read this silly kind of lyric to her, and I looked over for confirmation to my wife, and she was laughing. And I said, you think that's funny? And she said, yeah, that's funny. And I said, well. And so I kind of calmed down. And I read the daggone thing. And then I called up my Jeff, and I said, listen, I don't know about this script. It's really kind of weird and wonderful and strange. I said, but what? And he said, talk to the director, John Rando. So I got on the telephone to John Rando, and we started talking, and I was fussing and saying that this won't work and that won't work. And I said, what is this about? And then the next thing I know, we're hooting and hollering and laughing. And I'm thinking, there's something here that I don't quite understand why I'm reacting this way to it. And he said, we got some pretty good. He said, Jeff McCarthy's in it. I said, Jeff McCarthy? I said, that's interesting. I said, Nancy Opal's in this? Ken Jennings? You mean the guy that was in Sweeney? Yeah. And then I said, well, so I talked to John, and then what was funny was that I decided to do it. Yeah, then I got the idea of what it was, and I thought this is going to be a fun, exciting kind of a trip. It's the kind of thing that I would have done 25 years ago. When I showed up at rehearsal, what was strange was that everybody's mouth dropped. I mean, I could see that everybody wondered, why in the hell what's he doing? Well, anyway, I fit in ever since. So,
but the title didn't bother you at all?
The title didn't bother me. I probably didn't read it. I never read the title or the person who wrote it. So I don't remember names or faces or things like that. But I must say, some of the things that were in there really I couldn't figure it out. But it's turned out to be a wonderful experience. And I suppose, obviously I've been there with it for a year and a half, and I enjoy it.
It's still running, and everybody's going to say running. That's probably the word.
When I get together in a group like this, I get envious of all the other people. Like, I'd like to be in the show with Edie, right? I'm not going to hero and flower.
You got to be Asian to be in our show.
He's a very good actor. He can do anything.
I'd love you to share the stage with me.
That's what I'd like to do that too. I'm afraid I'd get wiped out on that one.
You were a one-woman show one time.
That's right. A one-woman show with a woman wouldn't leave much room for you, would it?
Have you ever been surprised, Stanley, by something they sent to you, a script that arrived?
No, because they don't send that many. So no. I'm just surprised when a script arrives at all.
That's why you have to do your own.
Right, that's why I make my own. Yeah.
Another person who does his own.
Yeah.
Well, Edie, when you were told you'd have to take your clothes off in the first act, did you say, "Oh, great"?
No, I can't say that was my response. But I got talked into it partially because they said, "Well, this is the way the play is done. It's written, and these two people get out of bed, and it's, everybody's seen that in movies and stuff. They get out of bed and they're fully clothed, and immediately the audience is gone." But they said, Kathy Bates, of course, did this back in 1987, and this is the way it's done. It's only recently that I found out that they were not naked.
No, I was going to say, I didn't remember that.
I got totally scammed on this guy. So
we were railroaded.
Did you know that this was...
I had no idea. I have no problem taking my clothes off. In fact, I'll take them off right now. But no, we were told that was the way it was performed, and as written in the script.
And that if we were going to be professionals about it, we should stop saying, do I have to take my clothes off?
Right. We were very anxious, I have to say. We were very anxious. But the interesting thing is that you were the one who sort of picked the play at first. And then when I was approached, Edie thought, oh, God. Because you didn't know there was that much nudity.
I picked the play from my memory of it when I saw it with Kathy Bates 15 years ago. I just remember the event. I don't remember the performances too profoundly. I mean, not specifics. I just remembered it was about two people and love, and I left there with a beautiful, hopeful sort of feeling. And the whole ball started rolling, and then Stan jumped on board, and then I read the goddamn thing. And at first they said, they're making love and they're naked, and I thought, I don't even know this guy. And he's thinking,
and she
I
was
just asked him
proposing,
to have sex with him every night for 8 times a week, and I haven't met him yet. Horrifying.
Well, you do sort of have the sheet you can work with a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Let's not get into logistics right now.
Melissa, were you surprised at what happened with Hairspray?
Oh my gosh, so surprised. I was just speaking before. I think I got involved in it over 2 years ago, and I just got involved in it because I loved the music. That was it. I just loved Mark Shaman and Scott Whitman's score, and I had to be involved in this. This is so good. It was the best music I ever heard. And I said, this is a cheesy off-Broadway show that no one ever sees. As long as I get to sing this music every night, oh my gosh, I have to do this. And I think everybody on board kind of was involved for the same reason. We all just kind of liked the music, and it was a fun story, and Harvey Fierstein joined in, and we were all like, oh, this is a lot of fun, and okay, this is fun.
Well, how did you hear the music? I mean, you went to them and said, I want to do this?
They had the first act written before the first workshop. And I actually I heard they were doing the show, and I was like, oh, it's going to be a musical. What's the music sound like? Heard the music and said, oh my gosh, I have to meet you. Who's doing this? I have to be involved in this. I don't care what I do in this. Like, it sounds so amazing. The music is so amazing, and there hasn't been a new score like this to me. It's like it's old school Broadway. It's just old Broadway, but it's new, So that to me, because I love the old school stuff. I love the Gypsy. Any Ethel Merman show, I grew up like, that's what I want to be. That's what I want to be, So then to and then I'm hearing this music that was written, 2 years ago. That's got that same feel to it, and oh my gosh! And the first day I listened to it and was in the opening number, Good Morning Baltimore. Bawling that I'm like, I get to sing that every night, like just crying. Now I wake up every morning and go, oh no, I have to sing that. Oh my gosh. After I get through that song, I'm like, okay, only 8 more to go. I was thinking, I hope someday I come back to the show in years from now and think, oh, this will be fun. No, I have no life. Everything she said, I was like, that's exactly what I'm going through right now. have no life. I have no friends. I moved back to New York, and I'm living in my apartment.
Online communication
And
is
my-
the most helpful
it is.
thing.
My
I only
answer
wish
machine
it
says,
existed
yeah.
when I did the
Yeah.
Saigon the first time.
My
Well,
answer machine actually says.
You can come to our cast party.